But today, the two reasons I want to talk to you is we're seeing some dramatic and dangerous trends, both in auto and highway safety, and then secondly, some very troubling trends in the regulatory space that could significantly impact the consumers that we serve and the vibrancy of the insurance industry in the U.S. that are particularly relevant to your oversight role as state legislators. So let's look first at auto safety. I think we can all recognize that cars are much safer today than they were just a few years ago. When you think of all of the crash avoidance technology that is being deployed by the manufacturers in automobiles today, the way the passenger compartment is shielded from the impact, where the way the car is designed now, the energy forces are absorbed by other parts of the car before it gets to the passengers. And there have been pretty dramatic improvements just within the last few years. I've got twin boys at home, and so I look at the cars just in our family that date back, the oldest cars, 7, 8 years ago, compared to the new cars today, and just how dramatic the safety improvements are in just the last few years that are being put into the fleet. But something really concerning is happening right now on the highways of our nation. Recently, the frequency of auto accidents has spiked, which is surprising to many given how sophisticated our automobiles have become and how much crash avoidance technology is deployed in them. In 2015, this nation saw the largest jump in motor vehicle deaths in 50 years. Motor vehicle deaths increased 8% last year, according to the National Safety Council. And so, at the beginning of last year, we launched a significant research campaign to try to understand all of the contributing factors in this increase in auto accidents and auto accident fatalities. So we can try to educate consumers and policymakers and the media about what's happening out there. Now, the reasons for more accidents may not surprise you. First of all, there are human factors. The ubiquitous use of handheld technology is putting motorists, passengers, and pedestrians in greater danger. And here's a real irony. As our cars are becoming more technologically advanced with more safety features, the same kind of technology and handheld devices is making driving in our roadways much more dangerous because of the distraction factor. And then you put all of these distracted drivers on roads that are increasingly congested in major American cities, along with an aging infrastructure, and you have a real recipe for what's happening right now, which is a serious spike in auto accident frequency. And it's not just distracted drivers that are at risk. We now talk about distracted walkers, distracted pedestrians. A recent Wall Street Journal article revealed that emergency room visits from distracted pedestrians rose 124% from 2010 to 2014. And that was before the world of Pokemon Go came out. So you can just see that this interface between distracted drivers and distracted walkers is really a very toxic mix. Another factor that is contributing to these dangerous auto trends is the liberalization of marijuana laws. We are seeing a very strong correlation between increased auto accidents in states that have legalized either medicinal or recreational marijuana. And that means that we need to have a serious public policy discussion about marijuana impairment. How do you test for impaired driving, and what should the standards be? So while auto safety is obviously concerned, and we want to prevent people from getting in accidents, we're also concerned that we need to recognize that the increase in auto accident frequency and severity ultimately is going to lead to higher cost for consumers. And that's where you come in, because as these increased auto accident frequency and severity trends build, it's not unexpected that you are going to start getting calls, you and your state insurance department are going to start getting calls from consumers about what's happening out there. And so we are working very hard to try to educate consumers and policymakers on these early trends that we're seeing so that you're not caught by surprise. So to put it in hard numbers, the combination of increased frequency of accidents and the severity of accidents, both in repairing these new, more modern cars that are basically a big rolling computer as compared to the older cars, added in on top of what's happening on medical cost, has led to a 23.5% increase in lost cost in auto accidents just from 2009 to 2015.